Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical. Today we've got some kind of serious things to talk about. Are you prepared? With the Biden administration possibly leading us into World War III, Armageddon, could be, things are looking wild right now. And then we've got this mass shooter in Maine, and of course, Kamala Harris and the left are once again calling for an assault weapons ban. I think this is absolutely the very worst time for anyone to consider giving up their semi-automatic rifles. And it's just crazy to me the way one side of the country thinks versus the other side. Are you prepared? I'm going to say it again. Am I prepared? I don't think I really am. And that's going to kind of be the point of this video. So make sure you're subscribed. So the first thing we're going to briefly talk about is this guy in Maine that just shot and killed 20 people, injured a dozen more, using an AR-15, of course. And AR-15s are rarely used in homicides. But of course this one was, and it was a big one, and they still haven't even found the guy as of the time I'm recording this video. So if you are in Maine, make sure that you stay strapped so you don't get clapped. I say that at the end of every video, kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing, but it's true. Things like this just remind me to make sure that I carry my firearm every time I leave the house. Because those people in Maine, I'm sure that they never thought that something like that was going to happen to them that night. And so you never know. A lot of the times I'm going out somewhere doing whatever, and I think it's totally safe where I'm going. But you never know until some crazy person does something totally ridiculous. And if you're caught unprepared, then you're basically defenseless. And so make sure that you carry everywhere you go. Carry with one in the chamber. Be ready just in case. But of course, every time this thing happens, the left is salivating because it's just fuel to add to their fire for gun control. That we are, in a gun violence epidemic, and that, now is the time to ban assault weapons and all this stuff. But look at what has just happened in Israel very recently. Well, what is ongoing in Israel. I don't want to get caught without I'm not going to call them assault weapons, but you know what I mean. We have terrorists already making threats against the American people if we let this invasion of Gaza take place. And Israel's going to do that no matter what. As far as what I can tell. And I've been following this very closely. And Israel is one of our allies. And of course, it's good to support our allies. I do agree. But, and it's absolutely terrible what Hamas came in and did to them. But that same kind of thing, as unlikely as it may sound, could happen here. And I'm going to say it again. Are you prepared? Because like I said in the intro, I don't really think that I am. I've got lots of guns. I've got lots of ammo. And that is only one part of being prepared. But another part of it is, if you're gonna have guns and ammo, you have to be able to shoot and practice with them. It's a skill that degrades if you don't use it. And of course, as we talked about last week, with the Lake City plant stopping all contracts producing ammo for the civilian market, we had an explosion at the Hornady plant, and the ammo, the 5.56 specifically, is drying up, and the prices are going up, and that's only going to get worse for a while. Eventually, it will get better. And that's why I put out that short earlier this week about not panic buying, because I've seen this kind of thing happen multiple times. Ammo gets scarce, the price goes way up, everybody panic buys, which makes the price go up even more. Supply and demand, right? Higher supply or higher demand, less supply, price goes up. If you've been smart and been stocking up when ammo was not so expensive, hopefully you have nothing to worry about right now, and you don't buy ammo while the price is high. Wait until it comes back down. Now, every time it comes back down, it never comes back down all the way. It's an unfortunate reality, but it does come back down to an extent. And I'm confident that it will again eventually, but it might take a little while. This conflict in the Middle East, as well as the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, it looks like it's going to be ongoing for quite a while. And the scary thing about this is that, we may look back in a couple years and realize that we were looking at the beginning of World War III. And I don't want to cause any kind of a panic. Life is good, but life could turn bad very quickly. And there are a lot of other things when it comes to being prepared. Do you have food? Do you have water? Things like that, if we loot, there's a lot of things that could happen. And I am by no means an expert in that. I'm just a guy that likes to shoot a lot and makes videos on the internet. But I also do believe that if we do find ourselves in some kind of situation with an invasion or even our own government trying to come around and, confiscate our weapons, are we prepared to deal with that? The Second Amendment was literally written about, a tyrannical government. That's what it's about. It's not about hunting. It's not about sport shooting or anything else. So I'm sure that most of my viewers agree. It is an absolutely ridiculous time for the government to be telling us that they need to confiscate our firearms. With everything that's going on in the world, look at what happened in Ukraine a while back and in Israel much more recently. If the civilian population had been armed at the very beginning, they would have had much more of a fighting chance when they got attacked by surprise. And although you might not think that could ever happen here, anything is possible. And obviously this video is very unscripted. I've just got a lot of thoughts about what's going on. Do not give up your firearms. Make sure that your ammo, that you have plenty of it. And the thing is, so I'm going to do a little bit of a video later this week about what to do about a 5.56 ammo scarcity, because I do have, I think, a good idea for it. So that video will be out on Tuesday. I don't want to kind of give it all away right here. But you need to still be able to go out and practice and train, keep your skills up, right? And so that takes ammo. And if all you have are 5.56 rifles, then you need to be able to shoot them. But you also want to be able to have ammo, a good amount of it, just in case something pops off, right? And so that's kind of part of what I'm talking about being prepared. Do you have enough to train, but also enough to maybe last a while if we can't get any, and the horrible situation is happening here in the homeland? Do you have food? If supply of all kinds of goods and services goes down, are you going to be able to take care of yourself and your family no matter what happens? Now, my family is just me and my daughter, and we're relatively self-sufficient, but we go to the grocery store multiple times a week. I don't have a bunker, a warehouse full of stuff, supplies, to deal with a worst case scenario. And that kind of stuff costs a lot of money. It takes time to build that up. And so if you're not prepared, maybe right now is a good time to start preparing before things turn really bad. We're looking at a situation right now where our own government is hell-bent on taking our resources here and sending them overseas to help our allies, which, they're our allies. But what does that do for Americans? And, if a conflict comes here, and you know what? There's a lot of countries that do not like us. And depending what our government decides to do, there could be repercussions at home. And we don't really have a whole lot of power over the decisions that they make. But what we do have power over are the decisions that we make, what we can do to protect ourselves and our families. And so I would like to know down in the comments what you guys are doing to be prepared for the possibilities, because things are looking pretty dire right now in a lot of ways. And like I said, life is good. I'm a happy guy. I'm enjoying life. I go to work every day. I live with my daughter. I love her. Things are good. But I want to be able to protect her if things get not good. If that makes any sense. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys are doing to be prepared, to get prepared. Maybe give me some ideas, give other viewers ideas. And maybe we can start a good conversation down there and help each other out. If this video was worthwhile to you in any way, please subscribe to Sawtooth Tactical. Give me a like, share this video. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.